Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access pregame show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, a balmy Green Bay, Wisconsin. You've been doing a little bit of snow removal, I'm sure, Tim. I seen them trying to clear the field off earlier this morning. As you can see here with the background, clear skies now, as I think Rob Demovsky actually tweeted this photo out. So we're ready for football in Green Bay. NFC North showdown between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. This is going to decide number one in the NFC North. We've also got a couple games we're keeping an eye on with the Seattle Seahawks are back in command pretty handily here in their game. And then, of course, we've got the New Orleans Saints leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. So obviously we're Saints fans in that game. 2-10 Saints going into a rainy Tampa Bay to try to upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are sitting at 7-5. So we'll walk through the playoff picture, all that good stuff by the time this show ends, and we'll take you right up to before kickoff, give people time to grab a drink and get settled in. Before we get into everything, though, Tim, let's do this. You guys do that YouTube stuff for me. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into Packers Total Access, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your pregame festivities. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on a daily basis. So if you're looking for that type of content, including pregame shows and postgame shows, in-depth analysis, film breakdown, news throughout the week, random live streams as soon as news breaks, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. Like tonight, immediately following the game, we will be live for the PTA post-game show, giving you everything that happened, what happened, why did it happen, and obviously who came out on top. We'll give you the box scores. We'll give you press conferences, the whole 9 yards. So, appreciate everybody making us a part of your afternoon here. Tim, how you doing, big dog? You been out there shoveling some snow, man?
Yeah, man, I'm thawed out now, though. It's good. Got to watch a little ball. Got ready for the show. Ready to take command of the NFC North today as we boat race the Chicago Bears at home. Matt's got the belt ready. Let's go.
Let's go. I think it's going to be a good game, man. I really do. And especially the weather, it's going to be chilly. Obviously, I think there's like a slight chance of flurries, but it looks like all the clouds have moved out unless something's changed here in the last few minutes. Is that right, Tim? What's it like over on your side of town, man?
Yeah, it's like 15 degrees, really cold, a little bit of a breeze, but the snowfall is done for the rest of the day, I think. Although, again, you could, wait 5 minutes, it might change. But I think the temperature is just going to slowly drop throughout the game. Probably be the warmest around kickoff and then, get a little cooler. Probably feels like just above zero out there with the wind chill factor, but it's about 15 degrees right now.
Yeah. And listen, why do we talk about that? Because when it's this chilly, that ball gets really, really slick. Right. And it's going to be hard to hang on to. You guys know the Chicago Bears are number one in the league right now in turnover margin. I think they could play a huge role in this game. However, the Packers are significantly higher on our power rankings. I believe most people agree with that as well. Of course, we take into account, winning percentage, scoring offense, scoring defense, yardage on offense, yardage on defense, and turnover margin. So we'll dive into some of that on the backside of the show as well. Got to protect the football, Tim. That's my number one key in this game. I feel like the Packers have the better team. I really do. They just got to protect the football. The Bears have been able to win these games by taking the ball away and protecting the football. If they do that today and they win the turnover differential, I don't expect anything to change in terms of them getting back in the win column. However, if it's an even or maybe even just within one of the turnover margin, I think the Packers are good enough to win this ball game. How you seen it on the surface here, man?
Very much the same, Clay. Priority one, protect the damn football. You have to. It's cold. The kicking game's going to be affected too. I don't care how healthy McManus is at this point. You're kicking a cinder block out there in weather like this. So if you think you're going to rely on a field goal to get you over the hump, you're sorely mistaken. You've got to protect the ball and you got to put touchdowns on the board to win this ball game. So I'm with you, Clay. No shooting yourself in the foot with procedural penalties or extracurricular crap after the play, those kind of things. No personal fouls. Play smart football. Stay disciplined on defense and protect that ball at all times in this game for sure.
Yeah. Got to shut down the run, shut down the Bears running attack. and make Caleb Williams beat you through the air from within the well, within the pocket. That should be the game plan on the surface. Again, easier said than done. And you know the old Mike Tyson saying everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. That goes both ways here for sure. Let's talk about the inactives, man, as we've got this information tweeted out from Rob Domofsky just minutes ago. Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, and Javon Bullard are all active today versus the Bears.
I love it. Not all birds fly south for the winter. We got Bird back in Green Bay playing ball today. Let's go.
And, you know, I was kind of looking at this like, okay, whichever one's a little more healthy, right? A little healthier, I should say. Jaden Reed or Matthew Golden sit the other one down. It sounds like they're both good to go, along with Javon Bullard. Javon Bullard's going to be huge, in my opinion, because also Nate Hobbs is active. Now the question becomes, with Bull out there, is Nate Hobbs going to take over for Carrington Valentine on the outside? Now, you guys remember, we only remember the injury, right? And that's why he got sidelined. But right before the injury, I want to say the game before the injury, Carrington actually took more snaps. So he kind of emerged as the starter. Now, maybe the coaches have been watching practice and they feel like Nate Hobbs gives them a better chance than Carrington. You guys know I feel very, very, very confident that Carrington is the better cornerback, not slot corner, but cornerback. It is nice to know, though, that you got Nate Hobbs, that if for some reason Bullard isn't fully healthy and he can't go 100% out there, 100% of the snaps, you can kick Nate Hobbs, your free agent acquisition, which I think is a much better slot defender based off the Vegas tape as opposed to the Packers tape, him playing predominantly outside. It's nice to know you got that in your back pocket there, Tim.
Yeah, for sure, because we don't know what we're going to get. And plus, when you're dealing with nagging stuff in a game like this, when it's freezing cold out there, everything hurts a lot more. You never know how many snaps you're going to get out of really any of these guys that are gritting through it and coming back to play today. So, the return of Nate Hobbs is a good thing, whether that's, backing up Bull in the slot or having to go to the boundary in a pinch. Keyshawn's still dealing with the remnants of that stinger from a few weeks ago as well. So things have a tendency to act up in the super cold weather. So it's good to have all hands on deck, and you got to love it, man. Javon Bullard grinding through it. MG suiting up, playing today, and of course the Bird is back in uniform. You gotta love it.
Definitely. H.E. Solder in the chat says Valentine needs to stay on the field. I completely agree, Solder, until he gives us a reason to prove to feel otherwise, right? Just because he's played great up to this point don't mean he's going to play great the rest of the year. But based off what I've seen, I completely agree with you, Solder. Super chat from Mike, the super fan, who comes in here hot, says Jordan Riley up, Stackhouse down is interesting. Yeah. To me, it's not that interesting, Mike, because Jordan Riley, his rookie year had pretty decent tape. We showed the clip from Brian Baldinger breaking him down, playing nose tackle his rookie year. Now, you look at the PFF grades, they're cheeks. You look at the run defense of the Giants and the team he just came from on the practice squad, they're cheeks. So I can understand why you think it's interesting there. But just going off of what Baldy said, showing his rookie tape, I guess it was 2 years ago, year and a half ago now, whatever it was, it kind of made me feel like I think he is a little more prepared than Stackhouse to play meaningful reps against the run. And one of the reasons being is we kind of forget that Stackhouse was undrafted, because, he kind of emerged getting more playing time than Warren Brinson, who was a draft pick. But then at the end of the day, I guess we felt like we were a little deeper at 3-tech than maybe nose. Well, now you go get a guy that obviously, whether we agree or not, Mike, it's obvious that Goody and LaFleur, I'm sure Coach Covington as well, they feel like Jordan Riley is a significant upgrade over Stackhouse, right? Because, again, Stackhouse is inactive. Jordan Riley, who they just signed off the practice squad from the Giants, is active today. So thank you for the super chat, man. Tim, how do you feel about that? Do you agree with that assessment, or do you think maybe Stackhouse should have been the guy to go?
I mean, my heart of hearts would have liked to see Stack continue to stack more reps. I feel like a guy like him being undrafted is going to get better the more he plays, but this is Packers Bears for the division. This is meaningful December football right now. And I can understand, especially considering the loss of Devontae Wyatt, that the Packers wanted to go out and beef up that line and maybe go with a little bit more experience in a game like this when it's going to be trench warfare all day long. I would anticipate both teams trying to run the ball a little bit heavy today in the elements. So, like I said, the fan in me, the guy that loves my Georgia Bulldogs and loves that we picked up Stack as a undrafted free agent, that's awesome. But I think right now it's all hands on deck. There's a big hole in the middle there without Devontae Wyatt, and you need some experience out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Again, thank you for the super chat, Mock. We appreciate you. And also to go along with that, let me give a shout out to, I think this is King Tron. The name changed again. Happy Beat the Bears Ass Day. Go Pack, go. Love y'all. Hey, we appreciate you, Tron. Been a member now for 11 months. Thank you so much for the support, bub. So back to what Mike was talking about there with Riley. This was the tweet that Rob Demoski put out. Interesting that Jordan Riley signed this week off the Giants practice squad is up and Stackhouse is not. He went on to talk about the inactives. So the Packers inactives list for this game against the Bears. Offensive lineman Donovan Jennings, no surprise. Defensive lineman Quentin Bohanna, no surprise there. Wide receiver Savion Williams, obviously with the foot injury, you get both Golden and Reed back. Okay, we can sit Savion, let him rest that foot. That's going to come, I think it's going to come in really, really handy on down the road. Defensive lineman Lucas Van Ness obviously went out there, tried to go a couple weeks ago. They didn't like how it felt, so they're going to play that a little bit safer. And then, of course, defensive tackle Nazir Stackhouse. So I love the fact, Tim, that both Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden are healthy, so you don't have to continue to put Savion out there, him limping around, making that one big play against the Giants. What did he play, like 3 snaps and made arguably the play of the game?
It's so true. And like we said, cold weather game, right? Same thing with LVN. We've seen him try to get back, one step forward, one step back. Today's not the day to push guys with the foot issues, man. That turf is going to be frosty. It's going to be cold out there. It's going to be like playing on concrete. I like the fact that, we've got some guys back and we're able to let these guys get another week at least before we have to go to Denver and Chicago again. So I like it.
Yeah, definitely. So again, there is your inactive list for the Packers. The big news, obviously, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden. Oh, and we didn't mention Quay. No one's mentioning Quay in the tweets, but that means Quay's good to go too, right? He's not on the inactive list. We should be good to go.
Yep. That's good news for us in the middle, man. We talk about this running attack. The Bears are going to try and run the football on us. And, we got good backers and we need all hands on deck. As good as Zay McDuffie's been playing ball, it's still nice to get Quay Walker back in the mix, give you some depth.
Yeah, because essentially, if every time they press into 12, it's not so much between McDuffie and Quay. It's really between Hopper and McDuffie or Hopper and Quay, right? So now Hopper sits and you get the better of the linebackers. And PFF disagrees. They think Hopper's better, minimal snaps. But I think everybody agrees we'd rather have Quay out there than Hopper at this point. The way he understands the defense, his physicality, all of that goes with. Let's go to the chat real quick. Cannonball John, going to be at Oliver's Bar, South Chicago with an army of Bears fans with my jersey on. Go Pack, go. There you go.
There we go. Enemy territory. I love it. We might have to send them some backup down there, some reinforcements.
See, I love how you're thinking, get him help right now. I'm thinking, guys, load the super chats down so we'll have bell money, okay? So we can get Cannonball John out of the clink this evening. But you be safe out there, John. We appreciate you, buddy. Miss Jerry in the house says, decorating the Christmas tree while listening. Love it, Jerry. Nice. We got Christmas threw up all over this house. Mandy came up the other day. I didn't even notice. She said, your gold lights are out. I'm like, are they? Well, I guess they are. I didn't even notice. But Mandy's got she's got the house just absolutely loaded down with Christmas decorations. I love it though, man. I got to be honest with you. Most guys probably don't like it. Ain't nothing better waking up in the morning, getting that cup of coffee and feel like you're walking through Santa's workshop. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So
yep. We're doing the same thing here, man. Same thing here. Got the tree up. We just got to get the ornaments up and everything going, man. It's that time of year.
Absolutely. So, Jerry, thank you for making us a part of your festivities there while you're decorating the tree. Let's get into the Bears inactive list, Tim. This one was tweeted out by Courtney Cronin. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. Go give her a follow at Courtney R. Cronin on X. Bears inactives versus the Packers. Wide receiver Rome Odunze, cornerback Tyreek Stevenson, linebacker Ruben Hippolyte, defensive end Dominic Robinson, defensive tackle Jonathan Ford, and quarterback Case Keenum. So obviously the big one here, there's 2 of them, but the biggest, Tim, is wide receiver Rome Odunze. That's their leading receiver in both yards per catch, overall, receiving yards as well. He's kind of that big play guy for them. DJ Moore has taken a little bit of a back seat this year to that. Now they also have several other key playmakers there with Luther Burden, who had a lot to say today that he's going to go out there and make the Packers pay. He's feeling like he's feeling real confident, just like Ben Johnson. So we'll let them keep chirping. I love the fact that the Packers haven't said a thing. The closest thing that the Packers have said to talking crap was Stenavich going, yeah, we heard what Ben said about him. And we heard it. Like, love the fact that everybody's just tight-lipped. Let's go out there and take care of business on the field, man. But again, Rome Odunze out. Let's start with that one, Tim. I think that could be a huge, huge factor here.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about the way Caleb's been playing the quarterback position. You take away, arguably his best target out there. That's going to make a difference in a ball game like this, especially when, passing the ball is going to, come at a premium. Again, I hate to keep talking about the elements, no snow flying. It's not that windy, but it is like chill to your core, to your soul, cold out there right now. And, I think the Bears are going to have to, if we thought they were going to lean on the running attack going into this game before we found out, Rome Odunze wasn't active, they're definitely going to try and pound the rock now, considering that they're missing that weapon. Now, obviously, he's got, targets in, Colston Loveland, and there's other options for Caleb. But I think, arguably losing your best receiver, that's gonna make it difficult on that offense today.
Yeah, definitely. And then cornerback Tyreek Stevenson's played a significant amount of snaps. Now, obviously, they're leading in turnover margin, they being the Chicago Bears defense, in terms of, turnover margin is kind of that differential, right? How many times you take the ball away compared to how many times you give the ball away. And they're first in the league there. So missing one of their top corners, no matter how good you may think he is, he's obviously playing a role in them taking the football away. Even if he doesn't have a pick, maybe the coverage was tight on his side as opposed to what's now going to be a third or a fourth stringer filling in for him at the cornerback position. This does all kind of scream for, if it was decent weather outside, if it wasn't so cold, you'd think Jordan Love probably going to have a big day. But with that cold weather, don't get too far away from the run. You control the clock. They're gonna try to control the clock, keep the ball from you, and they're going to try to run the ball, establish the run very, very early. I think the best way to handle that is to fight fire with fire. Don't get me wrong. Take your shots when you can, right? You got to take your shots when you can.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. And I think that should be our approach. Offensively, I think we should pound the rock against that Bears defensive front, soften them up with Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson, heavy dose of the run, and then get your shots down the field when you can. But otherwise, it's going to be tough to throw the ball out there today. Yeah. Throw and catch the ball.
Definitely. We got a bunch of people joining us here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in to the pregame show. If you would do us a big, big favor, smash that like button. Every time you hit that like button, it boosts the algorithm. You'll see the view count go up even further. You guys have more control over that than us, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. We got Jacob joining us now. The Beard is in the house. Beard, how we feeling about this game, man? Let's get your take here. Hopefully we got a good connection. We'll see how it works out here, though.
Yeah, I'm nervous for sure. Definitely nervous. Got the nerves going through me. Feel like I could throw up at any moment right now. This is a divisional matchup. The Bears Packers is always going to be a nail biter. I do have a lot of confidence though. I really do feel like that we are going to come out here and actually perform. I think Jordan Love. I think he might actually have a big day today. I really do. Not quite sure exactly how we're going to do it. Who's going to be the key player? But I do think that we are going to have. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. A Toyotathon right there, Tim. That's what I was looking for, man. I do think that he is on right now. And this show is sponsored by Pepto-Bismol. Thank you, Too Old for this. I absolutely agree with that. Like I said, I'm trying to not cough up my cookies right now. I'm very nervous. I was supposed to be at this game. I wish I could be there. I'm just not as flush with cash as I want to be. So I had to make a baller. I'm a baller on a budget. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Hey, I got you, man. Down here in the South, we know all about balling on the budget. I promise you that. Let's look at some of the key numbers here real quick in terms of our PTA power rankings. This is obviously before any games were played this week. And just to kind of give everybody a rundown, actually, let me hit this super chat that just came in. We got to get John's bell money ready here. Michael Diesel Train with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, Rome out is huge. Stop running, stopping the run, and then one less target for Caleb to have is going to have him perhaps pressing. Got it. Understand. I read on a third grade level here, obviously. So, I completely agree, man. Rome Odunze being out again, if that's kind of one of his safety blankets, right? And we talked about that, Tim. Some of the numbers that go into Rome Odunze. You look at some of the receiving percentage and the numbers look kind of low, but then when you go in and look at the advanced metrics, it was actually one of those things where Caleb was missing him. They were inaccurate throws, things like that is one of the reasons why his numbers aren't even higher. So you got to think that that's in Caleb's mind a little bit too, Tim, that, hey, my number one dude ain't out there. Don't get me wrong. DJ Moore can hurt you. Colston Loveland's having a hell of a year too, right? But Rome Odunze being out definitely helps the Packers.
Yeah, and all the more reason to like we talked about all week, right? Hit him with the cage rush, keep Caleb in the well, put them in a situation where he has to throw the ball and he's down one of his more comfortable targets out there. Whether or not he's been missing them a lot lately is irrelevant. He's targeting Rome Odunze a lot, and not having that option and being in a situation where maybe you're down 2 scores and you can't really run because the run's not working like you'd like it to, and you got to drop back and throw the ball. That favors the Packers in this matchup all day. I smell at least one pick today from this Packers defense.
I love it.
Yeah,
Love it. That might be all you need, man. That might be all you need. So thank you for the super chat, Michael. Appreciate you, buddy. Caterpillar with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Got 5 on Cannonball John's bail money. Godspeed, John, with the praying emoji. But anyway, all I really want is a win today. But, man, I would love to demoralize these Bears today. Hey, I think that's very well said. All I care about is the dub 2, win by 1 point. However, the way these fans have been chirping, the way Ben Johnson came in talking, if the Bears or if the Packers were to go out there and beat them by a couple scores or even 3 scores, I would be over the moon. Again, I think it's going to be a very, very close game. If I were not betting on either of these teams, or if I were not a fan of the Packers or a hater of the Bears, I'd look at that plus 6.5 and think, cold weather, they take the ball away a lot. I would feel pretty comfortable taking the 6.5. So I think it might be a little closer than that. I hope you're right, though, Caterpillar. I hope we boat race these people. So
Belt to ass, BTA.
Right. We got him back today too, man. So appreciate the super chat there, Caterpillar. We got a super chat from Mike Witt. Appreciate you, pal. He says, "Hey boys, I have a good feeling today. I think quietly the boys are really fired up at Johnson's comments about Matt's press conference. Micah 3 sacks today. Book it." Boys, Jacob, we didn't have a chance to talk about this much, man, with you this week, but obviously Ben Johnson's introductory press conference when he got the job in Chicago, you've seen he came in just firing on all cylinders, running that mouth, and said he's enjoyed beating Matt, twice a year. And then, of course, Matt was asked about it. He just shrugged it off. Yeah, you don't really think about it much, They asked Jordan. Jordan said, no, not a big deal. They asked Hafley. Hafley said, yeah, no, not a big deal at all. They asked Stenovich, and Stenovich said something, yeah, we noticed it. So it's pretty cool. Hafley's got to deal with Ben Johnson's play calling, and he's just keeping it tight-lipped, like, let's go out there and play ball. Steno knows the Bears got a pretty bad defense. If we protect the ball, Steno's probably thinking, much like our boy Caterpillar here, Jacob, he's probably thinking, let's go hang a 50 burger on these asshats. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And also when they interviewed Micah Parsons, I thought that was very telling. He just said, I don't like him. I don't like him. And they asked, like, is it a thing? He goes, I don't think they respect us. And that coming from a guy that, pretty new to be in the Packers organization, I think he completely understands what this rivalry means, what it meant for them to, like you said, Ben Johnson coming out there and literally calling us out in his opening press conference when he got the job, saying that how this and that, and basically kind of dragging Matt LaFleur through the dirt. I think there's a little bit of heat there between the two of them, obviously. What I like about Micah Parsons, again, is the fact that he understands, and whoever was it, Micah having 3 sacks, I wouldn't put that past him. I think that he is going to be hungry. He understands that this NFC North division is an absolute dog right now, and he needs to be the top dog. We've had people talk about how Aiden Hutchinson and all these kind of guys are the biggest, difference makers. Micah Parsons, other than maybe Myles Garrett, is the best defensive player in the league. There's just no question about it. The way that he's coming in, the way that he's performing, I'll pay that money for him every single day of the week. And the fact that these people are kind of chirping, like you said, the Bears fans, they're very confident right now. And I really do feel like that the Bears franchise is going to understand that they have been extremely lucky up until this point. Up until they go out in Green Bay, I think that they're going to absolutely start eating some humble pie. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's what happens. But I just have a really good feeling about today. And you guys know I usually don't. I see some people in the comments saying when Jacob's nervous, that means it's good. Well, I'm nervous, but in like a weird, quiet, confident way. I really do feel like that we are going to have a feast today. I think that Mike is going to eat. He's going to get seconds. He's going to get thirds, bro.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, Tim, the reason I'm not so much concerned with this game is kind of like I was listening to Matt Ramage the other day. Shout out to Matty. He kind of hit the nail on the head. He's like, everybody can stop talking now. We're going to go play. And not only are we going to play this week, we're going to play again in 2 weeks. So that's why I'm like, if the Packers go out here and were to lay an egg, it's not – there's going to be a portion of the fan base that pretend like the world has ended. right? But if
Yeah.
they go out there and lay an egg today, we can go out there with our piss hot in 2 weeks and get this dub right back. And again, if we are who we think we are, and we are who we think the Bears are, then you're going to look up at the end of the day, and we're going to probably be sitting in the number 1 spot in the NFC North, especially with the Detroit Lions, another injury with Brian Branch and them struggling. But we kind of talked about this a little earlier in the week, Tim. How do you feel about it now, and what Mike Witt says here with Micah's 3 sacks as well?
Yeah. Oh, well, we already know Micah with the Shiesty is undefeated. Like I said last week, it's definitely a Shiesty game today. So I don't think it's unrealistic to think he's going to get at least 2 or 3. But when it comes to the media and the fan bases and the back and forth, I could give a rat's ass. I mean, you're going to have loud talking heads on both sides. My main concern is, our coaching staff and the players, right? Because the players have been chirping too. And we've had a little bit of that subliminal stuff. For the most part, the Packers, staff and players have stayed out of it. My concern is out on the field when the talk starts getting thick. Are you going to be the knucklehead that picks up that personal foul? Are you going to be able to keep your cool and not do anything stupid? Are you going to keep your cool and not just be running your mouth and getting run all over? Do it with your play out there today. And, cooler heads should prevail, hopefully. And remember, hey, we're at home. They got to come in our building. They got to play here. So let's act like it and keep a level head out there. That's my thoughts on all this trash talk,
Definitely. Thank you for the super chat, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. Turt McGirt says, Matt said Ben Johnson is a good coach. Just ask him. He'll tell you himself. That was the comment.
Get ready to go.
Like, yeah, no, he's a great coach. You don't believe me. Listen to him. Constantly talking about how good he is. So again, yeah. It's going to be awesome. I think this team, though, I think these players are going to go out there like I said earlier in the week. Matt can't say anything. Leading up this week, I said this before we dove into the coverage this week. I said Matt can't go out there and say something about that. He handled everything perfect. Just minimize it, right? Same thing with Hafley. Now Steno's a former player. Steno is a former offensive lineman, former ass kicker. And you know that Matt has had Steno's back. So I'm just hoping these captains got that team together, a little players only meeting, and said, listen, we know what Ben Johnson's quirky little ass said about our coach. Let's go out there and smack somebody in the mouth. And listen, I want to win this ball game, but I'll tell you what else I would be okay with. If we get 3 or 4 personal foul penalties, if it takes a loss, I could care. Go out there and smack Chicago in the mouth so hard that the refs have got to go, hey, guys, calm down. I want them to understand who they're playing today is what I want to understand. I want them to understand. Mike Witt with the super chat. This is finally the coming out party for Matthew Golden. Jalen Johnson will go with Christian, meaning Golden, Rome, and Reed are going to eat. Just a gut feeling. Golden gets his first touchdown. And this is what makes me a little nervous, guys, what Mike's saying here in the chat, because I want to agree with it, but I'm also thinking the weather. And it's like, let's don't fall into that trap of trying to throw the ball too much. And then all of a sudden you're looking at a 2nd and 10 as opposed to a 2nd and 7 because you just chose to run the ball. If you get behind the sticks and now you're having to throw on a 2nd and long, a 3rd and long, that's where they can feast on those interceptions, those turnovers, right? So that's the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous, but I do love what he's saying there. I don't think personally, and I could be wrong, I don't think that Jalen Johnson will follow Christian everywhere, Tim, but I do believe Christian being on the field will cause them to bracket a little bit, and then that could really open things up for Jaden Reed. I'm excited about seeing Jaden Reed out there, man. I really am.
Let's go.
Me too, and Matthew Golden for that matter. I've talked about it before. We want to see Golden on those 9 routes, down the field, but this is the type of game to get him the ball in space, quick pass game, playing off some of that play action, that RPO stuff we can get, if we get the run game going. I'm looking forward to seeing Reed and Golden getting the ball in space and getting the yak yards today, because I'm convinced, man. I think this is going to be a close game, and it might not be as high scoring as we think. It's in the elements. This is going to be a grinder out there.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob? How you feel about that comment right there, bro? Receiver.
Honestly, I do think that, and maybe we'll just push back a little bit. I honestly think we're going to light it up today. That's what my feeling is. I think that Jordan Love's going to come out. He's going to wake up with the piss hot, that he's just tired of people talking crap. To your point, like Ben Johnson went on record just kind of calling these guys out. You get a guy like Micah that actually is an absolute freaking dog. I think that Christian Watson is going to take this stuff personally. I think that Romeo Dobbs, the fact that we got Jaden coming back, Mr. Bird, quack, quack, You know what I mean? Like, he's coming back, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, I was faded. I ain't gonna lie, I was faded. Like,
he's coming back. Matthew Golden has something to prove. I think that we have too many people in too many spots for them to cover. And I just feel like that the Bears are a fraud organization. I'm just going to say that right now. And I know that I could eat my words later. I will, humbly, if I have to. I don't think that they have honestly understood what it means that young organization, Caleb, you know, with all this kind of flair and all this stuff he does, he just seems like he makes too much motion. Like, he's so chaotic. Don't get me wrong, he can make plays, but I feel like that today he's going to end up making a stupid play. I think that he's going to get a turnover. I think that we're going to get maybe 2. I think Evan Williams may have one. That's what I think. And I just feel like the Packers are a better organization, a better team, better in this time of the year. I think that Caleb Williams right now is just absolutely trying to do too much. And I think that once he finally, there you go. Once he actually goes up against an organization that goes toe to toe for him, I just feel very confident today. I do. And
I love it.
Again, if I have to eat my words at the end of the post game show, I'll do it. But I just feel like that we are going to be riding high today.
scared money don't make money.
Absolutely not, Matt.
Thank you for the super chat, Mike. Appreciate you. And listen, Toyotathon, I don't know when it officially ends. Do we know when it ends, Toyotathon? Anybody idea?
It ends when Jordan Love says it ends.
That's right.
But here's the beautiful thing. When it does end, don't forget your December to remember here.
Hey, there we go.
Because the numbers are, and this was shout out to Daddy's Lambo. It's at @tan_BRUSS. Packers in December under Matt LaFleur, 20 wins, 4 losses, an .833 winning percentage, 0 mercy. The rest of the NFL schedules their holidays. Green Bay just schedules body bags. So there you go. Don't forget about the December to remember. I just feel like we need to let's put it off another week or 2. Let Toyotathon run its course, and then we'll get right into December to remember. You know what I mean? And then hit them with one of these, Tim, when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a little name. So let's jump into some of the numbers here in our PTA power rankings. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. If you would, please hit that like button for us. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It takes just a second. It's free. Just smash that like button for us. So in our PTA power rankings, again, this is comprised of winning percentage, scoring offense, scoring defense, yards per play offense, yards per play on defense, and then turnover margin. And that gives you your final number, low number wins. In the number 1 spot, you got the LA Rams. Number 2, the Indianapolis Colts, which the Colts today, it's looking like an Achilles tear and again, it's early. Do your own research, but it's sounding like it may be an Achilles tear on Daniel Jones. So his season will be done, obviously, if that's the case. Seattle's in the number 3 spot. They're taking care of business right now. Green Bay is your number 4 team in the NFL, according to our PTA power rankings. They are number 6 in winning percentage, 10th in offensive scoring, 5th in defensive scoring. On offense, yards per play, they are 11th, so right behind that 10 mark. And then defensive yards per play, they're sitting in the 4th spot. They're also sitting in the 10 spot in turnover margin. When you look at Chicago's numbers, they are number 12 on our power rankings, and here's why. They're 3rd in winning percentage, right? They're 11th in scoring. They're 27th in defensive scoring, okay? So they give up a lot of points per play. And offensive yards per play, they're moving the ball really, really nicely. Not in yards per play on offense, but they're 30th in defensive yards per play allowed. And again, the big number here is that turnover margin at 1. If you go out today and they lose a turnover battle, they'll lose the game. And again, you've got to tip your cap. This is the most important statistic outside of scoring points and allowing points in the National Football League, and they've done a really, really good job at it. Now, you did get to face a Mason Rudolph instead of Aaron Rodgers. You got to face some backups along the way, right? But throw the records out the window. It's an NFC North battle here. That's where we've got them. Green Bay is our 4th ranked team, and Chicago is the 12th ranked team. And I believe last I checked, the Packers are 6.5-point favorites going into this game at Lambeau. We got a comment here from our boy, Older Than Dirt, says, I think Jacobs will have his best game all season today. That's a player I was thinking about, Jacob, when we were talking about the players need to take it personal, what was said about Matt LaFleur. I could see him being a guy, because Matt has always spoken up and spoken out for Josh Jacobs of the leader he is. He said as good of a football player as Josh Jacobs is, he's an even better person. I could see Josh Jacobs going to the guys and be like, boys, we are not letting this happen, right? Let's go out there and take care of business. So I agree with Older Than Dirt. The weather suggests it too. Also, Chicago's run defense, pretty bad. Their overall defense, obviously, yards per play allowed, Jacob is 30th in the league. I could see Josh Jacobs having a big day.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And like I said, I have a strong feeling that I think that we're going to go out there and I just feel like we're going to have a good day today. But to your point, Josh Jacobs is slated at 80.5 rushing yards as far as Prize Picks is concerned. So they actually think that he is going to have a decent day today as well. Like you said, the weather dictates it. It's just that kind of black and blue division, old school type football. The Bears defense is, not necessarily something you would really, really put a lot of faith in. Obviously, they're missing a lot of linebackers. They've had injury issues their whole season. They've been kind of pulling out wins out of their butt. You know what I mean? And I feel like that ends today. I really do feel like that when they actually match up with an opponent that won, like you said, the fact that, Ben Johnson, man, what you shouldn't be able to be that confident when you walk into an organization that has had such a deficiency against another organization for the last 35 years. It just seems disrespectful. And that's what, like, again, to Micah Parsons is, he just walked into this and he goes, they just seem disrespectful. And that's honestly what I think that these guys, if they come out, I would argue that these guys are going to come out with an absolute grudge on their shoulders, and maybe we don't express it as much as like the Bears do, and blah blah blah, and we're going to beat the Packers and all this kind of stupid crap.
We're going to give him some.
I think the Packers honestly look at it as more like, let's go to work, like let's actually do what we do. This is what we've done for the last 35, almost 4 years. It's just you come in, you take care of business, and at the end of the game, then you can start talking some stuff. You can talk some stuff in the post-game interviews and that kind of thing. I don't know, man. I have a weird confidence today. It's I usually don't have this. I'm barely gonna throw up. It's barely even coming up. You know what I mean?
He's just gonna throw up in his mouth is all right. Tyler Shuck with a long touchdown scramble just now to give the Saints an extended lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's go. Who dat?
Hey.
Let's go. Who dat?
Seahawks are taking the belt to ass on Atlanta right now, though, 37-9. So that one's going to obviously go a different direction than we would want to see it. The Titans in the toilet bowl is now leading the Cleveland Browns at a snowy Cleveland. Is that still? I don't even know what the name of their stadium is now. Is it some kind of energy company? Anyway, 21-17, the Titans lead that game. You guys will see on the highlights Cam Ward manhandling a defender that tried to tackle him. He just threw him like a little rag doll. It was awesome. And, of course, the Bengals have just now given up the lead to the Buffalo Bills with 5 minutes left. So the Bills now lead 31-28 in damn near blizzard-like conditions most of this game. So that's just a little walk across the league. We'll take a look across the rest of the league here in a second. Tim, back to the Josh Jacobs comment here. I'll pull the numbers. And Chicago's run defense is actually 30th, allowing 5.2 yards per carry. So I could see why, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, but obviously Josh Jacobs is his yards, his projected yardage, it seems like it's significantly lower than 80 most of the time. This week it's inflated a little bit. So Tim, that kind of goes hand in hand with what Jacobs is saying.
And I agree with Older Than Dirt's comment. Like I got a feeling too, this could be a huge game for Josh. And I think to a certain degree, we're going to need it. We need to have a healthy dose of the run in this game to keep the pressure on those DBs back there in the secondary for the Bears, which is going to, the minute they start creeping up and having to respect that run, that's when we take our shots, and we have the weapons to do it. So I think, being conscious of the fact that we need to get Josh carries in this game. We need to feed him the rock, especially early, establish that run game. And yeah, I'd be great if he had, $125 and 2 or 3 touchdowns today, but I'll take 85 yards and a touchdown too if it wins us the ball game and keeps us active in the run game for sure.
Yeah, Mike Witt with the super chat. Thank you, Mike. He says, surprise, the new defensive tackle we picked up is active and Stackhouse is down today, ? Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if 9 comes out with his piss hot considering he got hurt versus the Bears at Lambeau last year. It's a great point. And again, I always want to point out too, as much as I hate the Bears.
That Jalen Johnson, right?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson's a class act. He is, man.
That was-
Obviously when Christian tore his ACL, he immediately went down, prayed over him and everything. I respect that so much. I think Jalen Johnson's a good human being and a great football player. So it's going to help that obviously he's getting healthier with every game that goes by. Although he's grading out a little low right now. I want to say he's grading out in the 50s, I believe, according to PFF, but still trying to get back from that injury. But yeah, we kind of covered that, Mike, with the defensive tackle. I think what it tells me, whether people are surprised or not, what it tells me is with Jordan Riley, both Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst think he is a significantly better, a significant upgrade over Stackhouse, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So,
Right.
And we need it this week, obviously, against a solid running team in the Chicago Bears. Let me double check that number again real quick. Rushing offense, their yards per rush attempt for the Chicago Bears is actually 5th best in the league at 4.9. So they've been running the heck out of the rock. So going to need that big body in the middle for sure. All right. Anything else you guys want to hit before we go around the league real quick? Anything at all that y'all want to touch on before we get into it? We'll get us some background music ready to go here as we go across the league. Anything y'all want to hit?
No, I'm good. What do you got, Jacob?
Just real quick, like we talked about, Josh
Anything
Jacobs.
you want to hit besides a Bears fan?
80.5 yards, like we talked about for Josh Jacobs. DeAndre Swift is projected at 49.5. Kyle Monangai, that's a guy that I am a little bit worried about. If there is going to be a game breaker, I feel like that dude is actually running the hell out of the ball. He's projected at 45.5. Emmanuel Wilson is at 19.5. Caleb Williams, 18.5. And Jordan Love, 8.5 yards rushing. So, if there were to be a guy that breaks open the game, I really do think it may just be like a Kyle Monangai, just kind of like a weird, like I said, old school black and blue type game. I don't want that to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that our defense is absolutely guys like Isaiah McDuffie, bro. Like I don't think he gets enough credit. I heard a podcast earlier today that was talking about just the fact that he's like ranked as a top. Isn't he like a top 20 linebacker as far as PFF goes and as far as most of his rankings? Like he is just absolutely outperforming.
Who's that?
McDuffie.
McDuffie, yeah. McDuffie, and what's cool about those numbers too is not only is he ranked as the 7th or 8th best linebacker in
That's
the
what
league,
I thought. Yeah, top 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, but the NFL Pro data as well. His run stop percentage is through the roof. I mean, it's like it's really, really significant. So he's playing good football, man. There's no two ways about it. So
Let's go.
All right. Let's do it. Let's walk around the league real quick, give everybody an idea of what's going on throughout the rest of the National Football League. And we'll start right here with the Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Seahawks are currently leading the Falcons 37-9. Let's look at what happened in this game so far. Sam Darnold, 20 of 30 for 249 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The tail of the tape, guys, is turnover differential, man. Look at this. Kirk Cousins, 15 of 28, 162 yards passing, but he's turned the ball over twice, 2 interceptions already in that game. And it looks like Atlanta was pressing into the run pretty significantly too. I mean, they've ran the ball one snap more than they've thrown the ball, and still somehow, some way, Kirk Cousins has managed to turn the ball over twice in interception. So that's obviously the reason they're losing in that ball game. There, next, you got the game we just mentioned, the Buffalo Bills leading the Cincinnati Bengals 32-28. There must have been a turnover there because the Bengals were just now getting the ball a second ago. However, the Bills now leading 32-28, and the Bills have the ball. Josh Allen, 20 of 25, 217 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And then on the other side, Joe Burrow has thrown 2 interceptions. So obviously another game there with the turnovers playing a huge role. How do you guys feel about this one, Tim? How do you feel about the Bills coming back on the Bengals here? It was looking like it was the Bengals game all game long. I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of this.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the first half of this one, and was kind of talking to the missus, saying, it'd be kind of cool to see Mr. Comeback Player of the Year himself, Joe Burrow, leading his team to some success here, because mathematically Cincinnati's still in the mix in the AFC, believe it or not, at 4-8. But the Bills are at home, man. That's a tough place to play too in this league, out at Highmark there. So not surprising to me that Josh Allen has got the boys back in this ball game and might run away with it here in the blizzard at home. But certainly something to keep an eye on out there. Cincinnati, if they can put a few wins together these next few weeks, they're very much in the hunt in the AFC.
Mike Witt with the super chat. I'm assuming he was talking about Sam Darnold here, said he won't win MVP because it has become a quarterback award, but JSN is the best offensive player in the league, and it's not close. Okay, I see what he's saying. He's talking about JSN. JSN he's been dominant this year for sure, man. There's no two ways about that. So, yeah, I could see him being an offensive player of the year there. So definitely appreciate the super chat, Mike. All right, moving along, Jacob. The next game we got here, again, the Toilet Bowl. The Titans are leading the Browns 21-17. Looks like there's 11 minutes left in that game. The Browns have the ball at their own 20, looking to put the scoring drive together. Let's see how Shedeur Sanders has looked at this game real quick, guys. And we're going to get in the playoff hunt here in a second as well. So you guys make sure you hit that like button for us. Shedeur Sanders, not too bad. I mean, 50% completion percentage is cheeks, right? But all right, let's see here. Score's not available. Something must have updated. All right, here we go. Shedeur Sanders, 12 of 24 for 227 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Cam Ward, 12 of 26. Yuck. 108 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Anything you want to add to the Toilet Bowl here, Jacob?
No. I mean, I think that Cam Ward is starting to show himself as being kind of a, he's a legit quarterback. He has his hiccups here and there. But I think that he was just put in a bad position. Anytime you force a guy out there and just let him just kind of be eaten from the wolves, like he's performed, I think, as good as you could ask any player that just be thrown on a crappy team and just, try to just tread water, right? And I think that if you give him a little more time, that he will show that I do believe he's going to be a good quarterback, and he's a great guy too, it's something I want to root for. So, I'm not really ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater with him, because I think he's a good guy. He's a good football player. If the Titans ever figure out a way to frickin' get their crap together, he'll be the franchise quarterback, in my opinion.
Krista Casuan in the chat said, "Let's go. I'm watching PTA from 40,000 feet up. Didn't know you could stream live on a plane. Hey-o."
Let's go.
Talking about, man. Mama, we made it, right? All right, next game. We got the Dolphins at the Jets. Another Toilet Bowl. We got 2 Toilet Bowls this week, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
And the Dolphins said, hey, don't put us in the same category as the Jets. They went out there and boat raced them 31-10 with 6 minutes left here in this ball game. I pointed out yesterday on yesterday's show, Tim, that Justin Fields actually has a higher passer rating and is 21 spots higher in terms of adjusted completion percentage than Caleb Williams. Kind of makes you wonder what they would look like if they had Justin Fields instead of Caleb.
Well, hey, that's what happens when you get a new franchise quarterback every 2 years, right? What are you going to do?
Jacob trading it in like women over there, man.
Hey, now.
All right.
That's true.
Somebody's grandmother just got offended. All right. Next up, we got the Saints at the Buccaneers. All right. Saints at the Buccaneers. The Saints currently leading 24-17, but don't look now. As Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. We got Baker Mayfield got them down, approaching the red zone here. When we look at the box scores, let's be on commercial break right now. I've got it on the TV when it does come back on. But Tyler Shuck, you guys know we talked about him a lot this offseason in the draft process. Greg Cosell was talking about this guy's a first-round quarterback. I think he ended up going in the second round. 11-16, 120 yards passing, no touchdowns and a pick. He's taken 3 sacks for a loss of 23 yards. However, it is piss-pouring the rain in Tampa Bay right now. Tyler Shuck, though, 4 carries, 56 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For a guy, Tim, that's like 6'5", 6'6", that was one of the things on the scouting report. This dude can run. He's an athlete to be so tall.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I had this game on in the background. I'd like to see how this one ends.
Yeah. Tampa, it looks like Tampa's kicking it off right now, so it's 24-20. So I was wrong on that. If this is live, I'm assuming this is live down here. And here comes New Orleans on the return. They're going to get the ball at about the 34-yard line, it looks like. So, yeah. So there you go. 24-20. Obviously, I feel like the Saints are in a good spot here, man. 4 minutes left in the ballgame, a little less than 5 minutes. We do have a flag on the kickoff, so that might get pushed back a little bit as well. But Baker Mayfield, Tim, 13-27, 119 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Both teams trying to lean on the run here a little bit, as obviously the Saints have 25 carries for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Tampa Bay has 38 carries for 173 yards and a touchdown with a long of 32. So they're both trying to run the ball, although it does look like, according to the TV, and sometimes the broadcast can be a little bit misleading, it looks like the rain has pretty much stopped there. So maybe the passing game will come alive here on down the stretch. We need Tampa to fall to 7-6. Everybody in the NFC to lose here, right, Tim?
That's right. Who dat? How about them Saints? Let's go, rookie. Let's get a dub today, man.
Absolutely. All right, moving along. Next game, we got the Colts at the Jaguars, and they are getting demolished. Obviously, Daniel Jones left this game early with what appears to be a major Achilles injury. So that's just absolutely heartbreaking for the Colts.
Who is the Jaguars? Is it still Jacoby Brissett? Who's the number 2 in?
No.
I heard that Anthony Richardson was going to be they were going to move on from him this year. So I imagine he's the third stringer, if anything, unless he's not even active. But Riley
Leonard, yeah.
Notre Dame, 11 of 18, 86 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Riley, his superpower for the Irish in college was running the football, running those quarterback power plays, and just kind of giving yourself a little RPR look out of Micah Denbrock's offense. So, this is something that doesn't surprise me that he's struggling to pass the ball, unfortunately. So there you go. Caterpillar says Richardson is on IR. Got it. I think I've seen a report where they're planning on parting ways after this year. And anybody who watched the show, the first year I started doing podcasting was Anthony Richardson's first year in the league when he got drafted. Out of all the projected first round quarterbacks, right, that we had on our draft board, when I went and watched the tape and broke it down, he was the one I was least impressed with. The accuracy was horrible. Took away his scrambling ability. He was a mediocre at best quarterback. Same thing kind of applied with Caleb Williams once he's gotten in the league. If he didn't have the scrambling ability, you'd think, okay, how good is he? But nonetheless, man, it's still an X factor. But we'll see where Anthony Richardson ends up. Watch him be a Packer next year, a third stringer or something. You're right. So, but again, the Jaguars winning their 33-13. They're 8-4 on the year, so they're about to go to 9 wins. It looks like they're against the Colts. Colts have just dropped like a rock here lately, man. And looky here, Jacob, Tim, you love to see this. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 27. The Ravens, 22 with 6 minutes left. Aaron Rodgers had a touchdown scramble earlier, broke out the belt on them, boys. Did the discount double check, right?
Let's go.
About 8 or 9 or 10 dime piece throws in this ball game too. I was watching that earlier. Still looking like good old Aaron out there. Age ain't nothing but a number.
There you go. So 27-22, the Steelers are leading. This is the battle for the AFC North first place position. Aaron Rodgers, 21 of 31, 289 yards passing, a touchdown, no picks, and he has 2 scrambles for no yards. But of those 0 yards, Jacob, we got a tutter and a belt, baby. Look at that. So what do you think about this one, man? It looks like the Ravens do have the football, however. They are on Pittsburgh's 33-yard line, so they are currently driving. But Aaron Rodgers breaking out a little magic here, Jacob.
Yeah, and to the day I die, I will always be an Aaron Rodgers fan. Doesn't matter where he plays for. The guy gave us so much, memories, emotions, freaking Super Bowls, right? So anytime that he's going to be out there slinging the rock, I'm here for it. I love to watch it. Now, granted, if we have to play him in a Super Bowl or something like that, then obviously my tides will turn a little bit. But yeah, watching him being able to do what he does at, what is he, damn near 40 years old? I mean, just that's impressive. I think it is the best ball slinger that I've ever seen in the league. I think that even most people, guys like Brady, Marino, Favre, they would admit that he just throws the ball better than anyone in history. It's fun to watch. It's great to watch, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Speaking of ball slinger, Caterpillar says, Clayton, what the hell is up with your algorithm? Talking about the Etsy bikinis on sale here. 50% off of this one right here. That's trash. Yeah, obviously.
You heard it from a fan, right?
It's on loop, too. I love it. So, yeah. Mandy obviously been shopping with Etsy and looking for bathing suits, too. I think she's trying to throw a hint at me, Tim. It's time for a cruise, and it ain't happening. Your boy is standing firm. We're not going on a cruise. It ain't going to happen.
Cruises.
Also, this was pretty cool. Doug in the chat. CBS showed a tape of Tomlin also doing the belt after that play. It's out on the interwebs, I'm sure. That is love to see that. Love to see it, man. So, all right. So there you go. Again, hopefully the Steelers can hold up here. I do not have it on the screen momentarily, but we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, as the Ravens are looking to try to score, to get the go-ahead score there to give them the lead in the AFC North. So, all right. Now let's do this. Let's hop over. I think that's all the games, right? We covered every one of them. So the 4:00 slate, the Broncos at the Raiders, who cares? And then you got the Bears at the Packers. This Rams at the Cardinals would be a good one to keep an eye on too, because we're Cardinal fans there. Obviously, you want the Rams to drop to 9-4 if at all possible. And then, of course, the Sunday night game of the week. How, I have no idea. I don't know. I guess that is a sleepy good game here, Jacob. Texans at 7-5 at the Chiefs at 6-6. Both teams fighting for the playoffs. So I guess that is a good one. So
yeah, I mean the Texans defense still legit. And every time, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to watch Chris Collinsworth go, hey, here's a guy, Patrick Mahomes.
But then we can all say
playoffs. Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You can't.
Hope we can win a game.
There we go.
Yeah, so
good.
and we do have a game that went final here, Jacob. You probably already heard it up there in your land. But the Vikings boat raced the Commanders 31-0 as the Vikings improved to 5-8. Don't look now, boys. But J.J. McCarthy threw for 200. No, he still just threw for 163. Sorry about that. 16-23 for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks. So that's a step in the right direction.
Took 4 sacks.
Yeah, don't like that, right? Aaron Jones,
14 carries, 76 yards.
Let's go.
He looked good, man. He was running hard.
Yep.
I watched that game. He was running hard.
Jordan Mason, 11 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. So the Vikings are just clinging to some kind of hope. Obviously, they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs just yet. But, yeah, we'll see how that ends up shaking out there. So.
Playoffs?
And Justin Jefferson, 4 targets, 2 catches, 11 yards.
Yeah.
Woo, stanker. So anyway, there you go. There's that. Now let's jump over to the playoffs before we wrap up the pregame show and get ready so everybody can go grab them a drink, get settled in for the ball game. We'll go to the playoff machine. We'll hit refresh, make sure everything's up to date with the
Playoffs? Don't talk.
All right, so here we go. Did the Vikings get the dub? They got the dub. All right, so currently as it sits right now with 2 minutes left, the Saints are still leading. The Saints do have the ball at midfield now. They're leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-20. The Buffalo Bills are leading the Bengals 39-34. Although the Bengals do have the ball, they are going for a 2-point attempt. That might be old there. I don't know. You never know with Red Zone Channel. So those are just kind of some updates of the games that are going on right now. But let's start with the AFC. The number 1 seed is the Patriots. The number 2 seed is the Broncos. 3 seed is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to win this ball game, so let's just go ahead and slap them with the win. Bang. All right. The Baltimore Ravens are currently the 4 seed with the Steelers out of the playoffs. If the Steelers hold on to this lead, all right, and again, you guys make sure you check out the final. But let's go ahead and say the Steelers are winning this game. Let's give them the dub. They'll jump into the number 4 seed and lead in the AFC North. Okay. The Colts, obviously, they lost that ball game, so they fall to the 7 seed. Buffalo is currently leading the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's give Buffalo a win here real quick. Boom. All right. So they would be the 5th seed after right now. Of course, you got the Chargers are the 6th seed. They're going to be playing the Cardinals here in the 4 o'clock window. So that's how the AFC shakes out. All right. We know the Seahawks are going to beat the Falcons here. So let's go ahead and give them the dub. All right. The Saints and the Buccaneers, it's still too close to call, really. But let's just go ahead and say the Saints are going to hold on to this lead since they do have the ball at the 50. If that plays out the way we think it should, then what you're going to essentially have with all the early window NFC North games intact, the Seattle Seahawks are your number 1 seed. The Bears are your 2 seed. The Eagles are your 3 seed. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the 4 seed, even with that loss to the Saints. And then in the 5 seed will be the LA Rams. They play in the 4 o'clock window. Your Packers are the 6 seed, and the 49ers, who are on a bye this week, are the 7 seed. Okay, so which is really weird. Why are they on a bye this week? Did we have like a handful of teams that were on a bye this week?
I think this is the last bye, right?
Yeah, it's the last bye.
The late bye, yeah.
It's a late bye, isn't it? So anyway, that's how it sits again. Seahawks 1, Bears 2, Eagles 3, Buccaneers 4, Rams 5, Packers 6, 49ers 7. Now, let's start with the bad news. If the Bears beat the Packers today, okay, if that happens, all right, the Packers fall to the 7th seed. The Bears jump to the number 1 seed.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. So, again, even if the Packers lose, we're still in the playoffs with the 7th seed. If the Packers win against the Bears, the Packers jump to the number 2 seed. The Bears fall all the way to the 7th seed, and the Seattle Seahawks will currently be the number 1 seed. So, again, this is a battle for the NFC North today. And obviously, it doesn't matter whichever team loses. They're still technically in the playoffs. So it's not like, oh, my God, the season's over. And we get to do this again in a couple of weeks. So that's how your NFC playoff picture looks currently. What are your thoughts, gentlemen? Let's go around the horn one last time with this playoff picture. Tim, how do you see it, man?
I see it being what it is right now. It's a lot of jockeying. I've always said that when the NFC North is competitive, at least on our side, that football tends to be better this time of year. And yeah, you've got the Bears and Packers slugging it out. Detroit picked up a win against Dallas. They're not out of the fold. Even even those Vikings found a way to win that ball game today. So this could, pan out exactly as we predict, or we could be doing this in a week or two, and the standings look totally different the way things are going. And the AFC kind of wide open as well. I mean, you got a lot of good football teams out there. I think you're probably your top 2 or 3 seeds are probably going to remain in that category, but the rest of the playoff spots are kind of up for grabs. And especially in the AFC North, you look at how that division's panning out right now, could make things interesting come wild card week. So be fun to see. But bottom line, let's worry about what we control, and that is burying our foot deep up the Chicago Bears rear ends today at 12:65, getting that win.
Jacob, Cam said, I lost it. Cam said, saying if the Bears win today is a crazy, crazy comment there. I agree, Cam, but you never know, man, any given Sunday, right? Yeah, if the Bears beat the Packers today is a crazy sentence. LOL. Sorry about that, Cam. Go ahead, Jacob. What'd you have there, man?
No, you're good. Jerry's talking about how we got to start a fundraiser for Mandy's cruise.
Jerry, no.
Well,
This
I mean, to Tim's point, man, this is I think people kind of didn't put enough respect on the NFC North, and it was a crazy division. The fact that we were out there and beat the Lions, I mean, that was so huge. Like, you see the ripple effect that had with the rest of the year, and now we're getting back to the end of the year where we're going to have some unbelievably close games. The Bears, and who would have thought? The Bears, to their credit, man, I as much as I want to hate them, they're still in it. And even if it's luck, even if it's them kind of getting the good roll of the dice kind of thing, we got to come out here and we got to perform today. And if we do that, and if we can shut them up as a franchise, as a fan base, as a freaking just annoying gnat that you want to just slap out of your face, that's what I feel like they are. And it's just
nobody's listening anyway.
Exactly. And it's just the fact that they remind me of the Lions of all of a sudden, like 3 years ago, all of a sudden we're good now. So we can just talk as much crap as we want to. No, you're not good. You are a fraud team right now. You're a fraud organization. I hope that Micah Parsons absolutely eats Caleb Williams' lunch every freaking snap, to the point where he's looking like an absolute psychopath out there. Thank you, Tim. And I got a lot of confidence today. If I have to eat my words again, I will. But I just feel like the Green Bay Packers are a better team this year, a better organization. We're gonna mop them up. We're gonna sweep the floor with them. That's what I think. And LaFleur is gonna go out there and just barely. Ben Johnson, who? Oh, that guy that used to coach. Oh, okay, cool.
Get ready to go.
Exactly. I'm done with it, bro.
Little update here too. Baker Mayfield threw what would have been probably a game-ending interception, but it got dropped by the New Orleans defender. He's scrambling right now on a 3rd and 10, going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards. So we're looking at a 4th and 5 here for Tampa Bay. Obviously, we're hoping that the Saints hold on to this game. They're 2-10. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 7-5. So we should have an answer right here. Let me give you a play-by-play on this 4th and 4, and then we'll get out of here. Ravens touchdown. There it is. Get up on that game too. All right, I'll give you a little play-by-play here for the Buccaneers game. It looks like it's still raining a little bit, but nothing like it was. This is pretty much game on the line here. If they do not convert, they're out of timeouts, and the Saints could kneel on the ball. So Baker Mayfield brings them to the line. They're in a dub nasty set out of the gun. We're going sidecar left, strong left. Look, Baker back to pass, looks left, looks right, scrambles up, throws. Regardless of whether it's caught, looks like it's going to be about a half a yard short of the first down marker. I'm sure they'll measure it, but I do not see them overturning that at all. That looked like a pretty good call if it was caught. So Buccaneers are going to turn that ball over on down, so we'll keep that Saints look there. The only thing that changes in terms of our playoff picture, let's say Rodgers doesn't lead them back down the field and score here. For the Steelers, let's give the Ravens the look. That's the case, then obviously the Ravens will be in the lead in the AFC North and be the number 4 seed in the AFC. So you guys go check that game out. We're going to get out of here. I got to get this uploaded in podcast form, and then obviously we're going to get settled in for the Packers Bears. Everybody enjoy the game. Thanks so much to everyone who jumped in. Doug here says, can we leave the chat open for the game? Doug, we already got a post-game show link created on YouTube. If you just go back into the YouTube channel, you'll see the post-game show link. That's where everybody chats in there. I've already got it created for you guys and gals, so y'all are good to go to take the conversation into there. Tim, Jacob, appreciate you guys so much. Want to give a shout out to Mike for the super chat, King Tron being a member for 11 months, Michael Diesel Train with the super chat, Caterpillar with the super chat, Mike Witt with the super chats. Appreciate you so much, buddy. You guys always supporting the show. Also, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. We'll see you guys in the postgame show. Enjoy the ball game. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. That's Jacob. That's Tim. We'll see y'all after the game.
Here we go.
Nice.
Bye, guys.